Well, guys, we got our heart rate a bit higher right now.
We ran across this bear, which was just in front of Odie, and it was a big grizzly bear. And both of us were freaked out. Like, there was no time to do anything. So we had to hop off the bikes and got the bear spray out, and we're talking to each other. And then we're talking to the bear. And
30 yards.
He
He
was,
was eating. He stood up. Woo! Big dude.
he was super big.
that was the first time that we were like, oh, this is real. The Tour Divide, for me, where do I find an adventure? I love the idea of training for something and having a challenge. So I like the idea of racing, but I don't really like to race anymore. And so there's this balance between how do you find an adventure to do and to train for that's unique and different that I have to say that not many people get to do. Disaster. Gee whiz. Makes me nervous. Seeing all that stuff. Part of the fun of an adventure like that is gearing up for the adventure and trying to pick the right stuff. So I was actually driving from shop to shop trying to find out. I'd made my mind up that I was going to do the trip. Then I was trying to figure out which bike I should use. And with my background and my back and everything, I'm like, hey, I've got to really make sure that I have something that's comfortable. So I was trying to find the right combination. And I ran into Odie, and I'm talking to him at a shop, which is the first time I met him, and he's at a Trek shop, and we're talking about Unbound, which he had done, and then it develops into talking about this trip. And so he was the one that was kind of like, hey, this would be the ideal bike. So the bike that I picked is a mountain bike. It's a racing mountain bike, and then converted it to like a gravel bike by putting on like 10-speed handlebars. So you have to change the way the braking works and the way the shifting works. So there's a lot of different things that had to go into changing a bike from a classic mountain bike to a gravel bike. So that was the first step. And then the next step is what gear do you put on it? So Odie had done some stuff with tail fin, so then we outfitted the bikes with tail fin gear. Thing is, it's so heavy. Oh my goodness. Heavy. Right, Steve. The bike and the gear setup is, quite frankly, what made the trip really comfortable. Now, I was quite a bit slower, but the bike performed flawlessly. Like, I had two little mechanical things that took me 2 minutes to adjust, and the bike I was shocked at some of the stuff that bike went over. Let's see what we got here. So I put everything that was going to go on the bike in here. So we are packed, ready to go to the airport. Zippo pounds. Let's see if this fits on there. Not good with this camera stuff. Whoa, this thing is heavy. Oh my goodness. That thing is heavy. Yeah, you can't see it, but it says 40 pounds, 40.9 pounds. The container probably weighs, let's say 3 or 4 pounds. So there's about 35 pounds of BS there.
So, where are we right now?
We're in Banff, and it's very intimidating.
No. It's
There is,
beautiful.
everything is mountains. Everywhere you look, mountains, 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 all mountains, mountains. It's all mountains.
What do you see?
You probably see beautiful flowers. And a nice hotel. Mountains. You're looking at it, especially in Banff, and these mountains were intimidating, and you knew you were leaving right out of there, and I was just like, oh boy, I don't know if I'm ready for all of this, but I also always look at it like people have gone before you, so you have to be able to accomplish it. Yeah, leaving from Banff was pretty surreal because we had stayed at there's this hotel called the Fairmont, which is this big famous hotel. Everybody there had been super cool and helped me with putting the bike together and whatever I needed. And what was crazy was we just rode right out of the back of that and you're in the woods. That piece of it, I was like, oh boy, like we were from civilization to basically nothing, literally like riding out the back of that. That was a little intimidating to think we're in the wilderness that quickly, and it just felt like a change of minutes and everything had changed. So it was exciting, but it was a little intimidating too.
Dude, this is crazy. You want to take it together? Yeah.
So the first day we roll out, it was actually one of the prettiest days, although it was sprinkling and raining, and we're going through a national park. And so it's a really cool environment because it's wide roads. There are people around when we got to that section. So you see vehicles, you see a few people, maybe a couple people on bikes. There's a park ranger, so you don't feel like you're abandoned, but you're also like deep, thick woods. Like it was pretty wild to roll into that.
This is so insane beautiful.
Wow. What do you see?
Ah.
Wow. Very cool.
Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy.
From Banff.
Oh, really?
To New Mexico.
Are you serious?
No.
Yeah, I figured.
Oh, it's something called Tour de Divide. So it starts in Canada and finishes in New Mexico. He's going to do all the way. I'm just going to follow him for 10 days or so.
Well, we're on day one.
You're on day one.
Yeah.
So you'll see where you get to. Right?
So yeah. Cool.
Cool.
See you guys.
Yeah, have fun.
Thank you.
High Rockies.
Straight, right?
Bridge bypass. Wait a second. Bridge bypass. Did you guys hike up from that way?
Yeah, right here.
Was there a parking lot?
Well, not,
Not
really,
really.
just some pulled over on the side of the road. Just some-
But right down there is where you walked up from.
I don't know where this one goes now.
That's back to the road.
Where does this trail go?
Oh,
It's,
very long.
The place?
yeah, it just wanders along that highway.
Yeah.
But through a bunch of single track. Maybe, I don't know, long way. 10 miles?
Yeah, this one just winds down, goes like 5 minutes, 10 minutes down there.
Some
We should
minutes.
go that way.
Okay, let me see.
When I decided to do this, I think the big thing was to make it an adventure and not make it a challenge or a goal that I had to complete. So I didn't want to say I'm going to do so many miles a day and I'm gonna crank this out. And at first I even was like, I'm going to complete this no matter what. And that was the biggest challenge because at this stage of my life, I wanna have more adventures and allow myself to just be okay with being in the moment, in the present moment. And I think most of my career was built on what's next, and I didn't really enjoy all the wins. So I wanted to be able to go at a pace that I thought I could enjoy being there and not turn it into just another challenge like everything else has been.
That's what they
Okay, let's go.
We're trying to find the campground, and it's a huge campground. It's a national park. And we're rolling into it, and this couple rolls by us, and they're on these rickety bikes, and they ride by us, climbing up a hill like we're sitting still, like they just rode right by. And I to myself, I was like, what the heck? Well, we ran into them later. They had been cycling from Alaska, and so they had been on the road like 3 months. And then it made me think, well, that's what the conditioning does. Like, then any of this stuff is just fun, and that was kind of exciting too. So we hit the campground and it had just stopped raining, and I still remember Odie, I'm like, what are you gonna do tonight? And he had to go underneath some trees and try and find a spot where it wasn't raining, and the next morning he's just like, he looked miserable.
John. Yeah. I'm hungry. You have to make the breakfast. It's too cold to get out of the sleeping bag.
I know. I didn't sleep very much the first 2-3 days because I was all the time aware of if something happened or if a bear would come. The second time we got in contact with the bear, that really rang some bells in my head, like, shit, this could really happen. And also, like I told John, I'm very happy that I was there with him, because in that situation alone, I don't know how he could handle that situation. Now we can laugh about it and be happy that nothing happened, but it's kind of scary. It's very scary, I have to say.
That first day was super exciting. It was just big. It was big. It made you think big about everything. So it was one of the coolest days on the ride, for sure.
All right. You can't tell. I've seen too many videos. You can't tell, but this is quite a steep, rough climb. This is Elk's Pass.
I think this is the biggest one we have done
Yes.
so far.
This is one of the signature ones on the whole trail. There's only like 4 big ones, like hike bikes.
I think it was smart that you never told me that it was 42,000 feet of elevation in the first leg.
I also didn't tell you the first leg was the toughest leg. I told everybody else that. I'm gonna peel out of it, put it on the handlebars.
Give me a nice downhill now.
You know what, that actually wasn't as bad as I thought it could have been.
Don't say that.
All right, well, I was foolish enough to think that that was the only climb on this.
I knew that. That was not...
This one's steeper.
Yeah.
Steeper climb. That's funny. I was like, that wasn't too bad. It's steep enough that I'm not above the bars.
I think one of the biggest things I learned on the trip was there are things that you can control in life, and there are a lot of things that are outside of your control. And when I look at the entire creation that I got to go through, I'm like, there has to be a God, and he doesn't need you. So it was quite humbling to be able to cruise along, and I can't contribute anything that's of a huge amount of value without crediting God for what's here and what's around us. So it really brings somewhat of a peace to me to be able to say, hey, this is an adventure, and I'm glad to be on it. I'm glad to share it with people. And it also allowed me to change my mindset from always having to accomplish something and being so goal-driven that nothing else matters, and to be able to blend it with the fact that it, quite frankly, like, I need to just enjoy what's here and be a part of the journey. And
We are in Fernie, looking for a little coffee shop. We made good time on that little run. About 25 miles. No, I take it back. It's actually 18 miles. 18 miles. Nice. This is literally surrounded by mountains. So now we're gonna go find a coffee shop. Oh, this is cool. Very cool.
I have that top off, eh?
How far are you guys headed today?
Summer Lake.
Somewhere like miles.
I don't even know. Somewhere lake?
Quite a ways though, huh? Like off-road?
Probably 30 miles. So it's going up that way, going up through there, I guess, and then way up.
Oh, very cool.
Where are you going? Overcrossing?
Yeah, we're headed south. We started in Banff and
Oh, you're going back? Did you
I'm
come
headed.
overcrossing or through the Elk Valley?
We came through the valley.
Nice.
Yeah. I just saw all these lined up. I'm like, oh, that looks like a good day.
Yeah.
Cool.
The first run of the club here. So.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, you looks like you got a good showing. Have a good one, guys. Hey, you're supposed to be leading in that thing, man. Yeah. Oh, I feel it in my ass cheeks.
We were a good combination. He has the experience, he's more calm, and he can take the time to do things properly, where I have all the energy and the speed. So very often I was in the front pulling and helping him against the wind, and then he could like hold me back sometimes and talk about, okay, we should stop now, we should eat now, let's take a break. I was pushing him a bit sometimes. What do you say?
I say the boy's pushing me a little bit.
Another 25 miles. Not until I carried his bike a couple times that I realized how heavy his bike was, and I realized how hard it was for him to go over those climbs. He wasn't prepared 100% physically the first couple days, but his fitness started coming after every single day. It's a motivation for me to see him in the fitness he is at his age, and I hope that once when I'm in his age, I can actually do the same and experience the stuff that he's doing right now.
Yes, sir. We are approaching the American border. We made it. We made it.
The Canadian section was as dense an area that you could imagine, like dense forest, high, big trees, big mountains, a lot of good gravel, I would say. The camping was good. The awareness for the bears was pretty high. I had this bell on the bike at first, and that thing drove me crazier than I think it would have drove the bears crazier. My bike, when you let it freewheel, makes this real high-pitched sound. It's like, I think that's louder than this goofy bell, so I actually locked the bell because that was driving me nuts. And I think it was driving me nuts because then everything was about bears. Like, you couldn't just relax because you got this bell bouncing around. So I killed that thing, and I didn't feel like overly worried, but I will say I got up one night and moved the bear bag further away from camp because I had a headlight, and I looked, and the bear bag, I had it hanging on a tree, and I'm like, ooh, that's close. So I did get up one night and move it, and I would check everything in my bag and try and get everything in that bear bag. So you definitely had an awareness of it, and it gave you a little bit of the spooks.
I'm walking up this pass. I just wanted to remember it. It's pretty wild. Almost to the top. But it's just like rock from rock slides, from avalanches and stuff. It's nothing but rock. Almost out of the tree line. It's crazy. Walked about, I don't know, a mile, probably at this top. It's just now getting ready to go down. We're in between these passes. It's really cool. And I think I'm gonna get on and pedal. Tell you what, the walking felt good. Haven't had any real walking for days. Surprising, it's like therapy. More enjoyable than on the bike, like a treat. This is wild country. Went from paved road to one-lane road, which is really nice, to pretty good gravel road to this washed out rock.
Please tell me how do you feel now?
I feel good now that I'm walking. Pedaling now. We're almost to the top. I mean, there's still a few hundred feet up there. How you doing? There's Odie, trying to figure out what he's gonna do with the next 10 hours. And
20 hours.
Here's the well, which I didn't trust. So I put this Sawyer on it, rigged up a bottle, and I'm filtering water. And here's the view. There's a lake down there somewhere. We're gonna go check out after we're done getting water. It's a pretty neat spot. The road we came in on is sitting right up there. Here's our camping spot. This is Ford Cabin, just up above us. It had one of those old well pumps. And then we came down here along the river, and we got this campsite right here we're gonna stay at. It's only 3:30, so Odie's going crazy that we're stopping, but we've done 50 miles and 3,000 feet of climbing, and I'm beat. I think I'm gonna put my tent over here. There's Odie bathing. Odie, say hi. Coming into Whitefish. This is a poppin' town right here. I mean, poppin'. We went by, I think it was Sealy Lake, and it was full of it. Right on the water.
After the light on the left side.
All right.
I remember when I said goodbye to John from the hotel in Montana, I told John's wife and daughter that I will take care of him, and I was updating them all the time with pictures, and we are okay, we are done for the day. So I felt like it was good to keep them in the loop about how we were doing. So I felt like, okay, I did part of my job that was of taking care of John for the first couple of weeks. And I felt relieved, and also I felt like he needed a couple days alone for himself. This was his journey, and now, like after almost 10 days together, I felt like he has the experience to be alone out there for himself and removing all the noise and just being present for himself.
Well, my friend, your first day alone.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
And you're gonna do it.
Alright, I don't have my cameraman, so I have to do some of this myself. I'm gonna be downtown Whitefish. Cool little place. Yellowstone made this place blow up. I mean, it is nothing but people everywhere. Crazy. I'm gonna grab a coffee. I don't know what the game plan is today.
So as you spend more time with them and you see where each other's strengths are, and you see each other's weaknesses, you know, there's a point where you can empower people to do better by looking at their strengths and looking away from or trying to ignore some of their weaknesses. And if you do that, we tend to get more out of each other. And I think I realized on that, we all have different strengths. And if you can empower people to go further with their strengths, you tend to get a lot more out of your life and out of their experience in life. So I used to always be like, just drive, let's go. And to be able to balance and learn how to work with each one of them really helped me look at my experience and my experience with how to work with other people a lot differently.
And it's just rolling up and down. Those short climbs, long climbs, descents. Descents go by too fast, and the climbs take too long. But that's how it goes.
Okay.
That's right.
Oh, nice. Got the bear spray strap there. That's a good idea.
Yeah, it's just ready to go.
Just put your finger through the hole, slip that clip off, and then just light them up. They said to do a test spray.
I'm not doing that.
I'm not touching this shit, man.
No way.
I'm not doing it.
No way. Yeah, what were you thinking when I asked you, let's do this thing?
Well, we talked about it at the last pheasant hunt, and you were just kind of talking about it. I was like, you're a madman, telling me about the whole trip, and then you were like, I could use some help on it, basically. Like, you could definitely, and I was like, I've never really done anything like that, but, we're on two wheels and we're, in the forest, so that sounds good enough for me. So I felt pretty gung-ho about it right from the start.
I took a few of them, but none of them like on the big heavy bombs.
You should do one. So then you can look back at it later, and then you'll be like, what the fuck? It was way scarier when I did it.
I guess we just keep going.
I'm cool one.
Yeah. The lake is definitely that way.
You think it's right?
What?
The route?
I don't know. It just literally ended right there at the top of that climb. This shows. It's like it's got us. It's like it just stopped here.
Danny was great because now he has a much younger perspective on everything. So everything's chill, everything's like just part of this adventure. So he was taking things almost too relaxed at first. And like we had plenty of time and we got caught out in the rain and we got caught out on a tough adventure. Danny was fun because there's just this lightness to the way he looks at stuff. So then I'm carrying the worry and the, hey, wait, we gotta get going. Hey, Danny, come, like a couple times I was like, Danny, come on, bro, we gotta get going. Like it's getting dark. And Danny's outlook was like, who cares what's in front of us?
It'll be down there, we hang out, we come back up. I think this is kind of a traverse. Like even though it looks like a climb, like judging from the topography, it looks like we're right around 6,600 for a while. And then that looks like downhill. Do we feel like going down to the lake to hang? Or do we just want to like kind of find a rock to sit on here and just eat? I don't have water. That's kind of like the thing.
Oh no, I wish I knew how far it is to the fucking lake.
I don't think it's that far.
In terms of learning things about myself, I feel like I was enjoying it so much. It wasn't like this great awakening that happened. Like, I feel like that could be the lesson in itself, that like, if you can enjoy being in the shit, then it's not that bad,
And that's my observation of you. Like, I think you actually matured through it to enjoy grinding through some of those rough gravel roads, or like that first day where the rain and your energy's just kind of gone. And I think I think that was the point where I was like, all right, Danny's matured in the fact that he's just okay with grinding through this, when it was like, I could tell you were like at your limit, and over the period of the several days at the end, you were just kind of, okay, I'm good with it. We're going to make it like
on the first couple of days, I was like, I have no idea how John has gone this far. And then by the end, I was like, I feel like I could just keep going. Like, you just figure it out. Like, your body gets acquainted with, like, being in a saddle that long and just, like, pedaling day in and day out. And, like, it's pretty impressive how acclimated, like, I felt like I got in those couple of days.
Danny, where the heck are we?
You getting me in my underwear? You're getting me all exposed?
This is our water source. Some spring water or something.
At the
Upper Red Rock Lake Campground, which is all good and fine. It's like a ghost town, and all the campsites are exposed in the sun. So we gotta figure something out. Here's my water filtration rig system. Almost out of water when we got here. Danny boy is sorting his out. This is it.
Thankfulness that it was you that I did this with, because you were really patient with me, like mechanical issues with the bike or like my morning routine, whatever it may be. Like, you did a really good job, like, understanding like what needs to happen, and then you like also like you were aware of when and where we needed to push for like pace or like, you know, like timing, whatever it was. Like, you did a really good job like working with me and not like forcing me to like align with the way that you were doing it before or like your expectations of it. Like, you did a good job being flexible, so I appreciate that.
Well, I love you, buddy, and I appreciate you coming. That was awesome.
Yeah, I love you too. Thanks for inviting me. That was great.
All right.
We'll do it again soon.
We will. We're gonna start planning it now.
Awesome.
Out here in the wilderness, huh, John?
Yeah, another struggle.
Another rough time.
Wait, what is that? What's over there?
Oh,
Is that a,
might be is that a tee box?
it's a tea box.
Oh.
Good morning, guys. How you doing? Boy, you're pretty. Boy, you're pretty. Montana was more like open ranges. The roads weren't as nice. They were a lot more rough sections of road, so Danny was with me on that piece of the ride. There was quite a bit of climbing, and when you would climb, you'd be in these open, they were like open prairie land, but rocky and quite mountainous. So you'd be on the top of that with just some Jeep tracks, almost like something you'd see like in an old Western.
Got the camera on. Got it on. This will be a good shot right here.
Let's roll tide.
Let's go.
See you later, gentlemen.
See you later, Danny boy. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you.
There they go. They grow up so fast, huh?
Jamie rode on the last leg with me, and then you see the effort that Jamie put into accomplishing the ride was super cool to see. Like, he's the oldest of the group, and he probably has the least amount of time to ride and train, and so you put that on top of the effort that he put out. And some of those days we did a lot of climbing, Jamie and I, and some of those days I just was like, oh man, I was just praying that he had the strength and he never quit. Like, there were a couple times where I was just like, I could just hear him breathing and working, and he just kept working, and heart's like, hey, I'm glad I'm here with him doing this because I can see the limit, and he's at that, and he's still moving, and so you get this energy yourself from it. So there was these dynamics where I think at the beginning, Odie's doing to me what I'm doing for Jamie at the other side of it, and it was just a cool experience to bounce between all that stuff.
Dude, this is one of the top views, man. I mean, this is just unbelievable. When we were like 70 miles away, you could barely see it. It was just like a smoky outline, gray, and it looked unreal across the valley. But being right here is so much better. What happened? Oh, got caught in that. Just enough to turn my wheel. Yeah. My front wheel ended up out there.
I heard that guy hit the brakes.
Yeah, he thought I was going to roll right in front of him.
Dude.
Yeah. I just looked up for a second to say, hey, I just want to see. We're going to make a right on Perry Street, which is right there. See Perry Street? And then we're going to make a left and a right on Marcel.
Well, let's go to the light and then make our turn at the light.
Yeah.
Get to the right side of the road. You all right?
Yeah, just loosen up. Should I found, what, 5-6 times in my biking career? That was a mild one.
Dude, you were way out in the road.
Well, what happened was I was coming off here. I was out here, and then the way my bike turned.
Yeah, your tire got in that groove. Yeah.
That groove right there, it turns that way. And my wheel ended up out there, and I tried to brake it, and I just kind of slid into the road. I wasn't in the road, but my bike was. I was behind the bike like this. All right.
We're gonna have to edit that video.
Huh?
We'll have to edit that video.
You did not. Just now?
The video's on. So it has that fall.
Just like in business or life, you have to, change your plans. Not everything's written in stone. You have to be flexible. You have to recalibrate. You have to rethink. And you have to be open and not be rigid. I've never done an adventure like this to this extent. This was the first time. And I knew it would test my mettle. And my wife asked me, she says, well, why are you doing it? And I said, because I want to see what I can do. And she says, well, you could always do it next year. I said, no, when you hit 64, every year is a declining year physically. Your capabilities come in no matter how much you train. So for you younger folks who are, say, we always got next year, there's some validity to that. You can bounce back, but when you get into your 60s and eventually your 70s, your capabilities are tied to genetics.
Jamie, how do you feel about safety?
How do I feel about what?
Safety. Safety, yeah. Back in the day with work, you'd always be preaching safety.
Safety.
Safety, yeah. And here you.
Stacy.
No, safety. And here you are today, still practicing safe cycling with your light on in complete wilderness. Yeah, it's that steep. Too steep for this guy, me.
I had to get off the bike and walk it, and you kind of question, why am I here pushing this bike uphill? But then you realize once you get to your destination, it's all fulfilling. So the pain is forgotten when you get to the game.
Hey, Jamie, what are you doing? What?
What are you doing?
Shut up.
Here's our camp set out. I couldn't pass that opportunity up. There it is for tonight. It's actually a really pretty spot. Lynx Pass Campground. Awesome.
There was a lot of highs and lows with this trip. We ran into a problem, and this is documented on a video. John was going to video me, but of course he didn't know how to work his camera, so I videoed him.
Well, John, tell us what we're doing.
Well, we're doing the first creek crossing I've ever done.
It's a creek crossing.
I usually ride through them and keep going, but
We decided to follow a map instead of a computer. Which one won?
well, for the adventure side of it, the map won.
Well, thank you, map, for the adventure.
We had this stream going through our trail, so we had to take our shoes off and walk through this little stream.
John goes first, in case there's quicksand.
All right.
Oh. Okay.
Boy.
That could have been a low point, but it was funny as hell because the only other thing we could have done is backtrack up, 1,000 feet and reconnect. So we just gone through and we were laughing about it afterwards.
Well, this is where we are.
Well, I've known John 13 or so years. I saw John evolve quite a bit over that time to this kind of lone wolf manager leader into this collaborative, empathetic, more understanding, but a very high intensity leader. And I saw it on the trip. John was about as good a partner as you could have on a trip like this because physically he's more capable, he was more adjusted than I was. I saw John as kind of like the younger big brother on this trip. And I'm glad I spent the 2 weeks, and the perfect 2 weeks. Right at the end, stopping at Breckenridge was perfect. So thanks, John. And thank you for including me, and thank you for being my friend.
I appreciate Ann for everything, and she gets it. She gets me, and the girls get me, and that's a cool thing to have. And I'll say this, I always had a fear of failure, and that's what drove me to push my limits and grow the business. And now you don't have a fear of failure, you just have a love for adventure. And now that's the driver, and that's the driver that you want to have instilled in your family, is not the fear of, but the adventure of. And that's kind of the shift that I was able to make in this trip was, there's no fear of anymore. There's just the joy of an adventure. So that's super cool, and you can't get that without a lot of support. So it's been a great journey.